In a tense classroom at Jiangkwang Second High School, a chalkboard declares only 1 day remains until the unified exam. The class instructor, Chen Fan, delivers last-minute instructions. He advises students taking the liberal arts exam to ready their IR stationery and issues a sterner reminder to those preparing for the martial arts exam to ensure their IR combat gear and weapons are ready. Teacher Chen Fan then cautions about the lethal dangers of the martial arts college entrance exam, strongly urging any student with an awakened ability below D level to avoid it. From his desk, a student named Xu Jingming smirks, sensing the teacher's warning targets him. In his mind, he reflects that he has transmigrated to this world, Blue Star, which mirrors his former world technologically, but is plagued by ferocious, bloodthirsty beasts. To combat them, some humans awaken superpowers. In this world, individuals awaken abilities at 16, rated from F to S. Most people, however, only awaken abilities between F and D. As Xu Jingming ponders his own power, a faint spark of lightning flickers. He reveals his ability as an E-grade weak electricity, noting with frustration that its strength is barely equivalent to a basic stun baton. While lost in thought, a blonde classmate, Huang Tian, taps his desk mockingly, questioning if Xu Jingming still intends to take the martial arts exam, calling him E-grade trash who'd disgrace the school. Huang Tian suggests he opt for liberal arts and offers a future as a minor clerk in his company. Before Xu Jingming can respond, a female classmate, Ling Qing, stands and tells Huang Tian to mind his own business. Irritated, Huang Tian scoffs at her, vowing to prove his superiority during the exam. As he walks off, he glances back, cruelly predicting Xu Jingming will perish on the exam grounds. After Huang Tian departs, Ling Qing Li turns to Xu Jingming with concern, advising him to ignore Huang Tian and suggesting that switching to liberal arts might be wise. Xu Jingming listens quietly, his face unreadable. Deep in thought, Xu Jingming gazes at his Great Sha Unified Exam registration form, which lists his E-level elemental ability. In the Great Xia Kingdom, education splits into liberal arts and martial arts paths. Those with low-tier abilities can choose liberal arts for a normal life, while the martial arts path is far riskier. Students must enter a designated zone and battle deadly beasts to pass. Only by surviving can one aspire to enter an ability user university, where years of training can transform even an unranked individual into a formidable ability user. Xu Jingming understands why his teacher and Ling Qing are concerned, knowing they fear what could happen if he takes the exam. Yet he also acknowledges he cannot escape the ever-present threat of beasts. This realization stirs a painful memory of a beast tide from his childhood, where he knelt, weeping over his parents' lifeless bodies. The memory fuels his determination. He refuses to be powerless again. With resolve, he grips his registration form and declares firmly that he will choose the martial arts exam. As the sun sets, Xu Jingming trains tirelessly in a training hall, wielding a long spear. He channels his electrical ability into the weapon, causing blue lightning to spark along its shaft. With a shout, he performs a forceful swing. The intense practice soon exhausts him. Yawning loudly, he grumbles about his fatigue and collapses onto the floor, his spear clattering beside him. Lying there, Xu Jingming reflects on his training. He has practiced with the spear for 2.5 years, yet his skill remains at a beginner level. He purchased a spear technique called Lightning Gale Break for 300, which he believes gives him a slight edge over other ordinary E-class awakened individuals. As he rests, a grim thought emerges. The death rate for students below D-class in the exam rises annually. This strengthens his resolve. To enter an awakened university, he must fight with everything he has. Rising, he approaches a machine, clenching his fist. As his hand nears the machine's panel, a blue holographic interface suddenly appears, displaying "System Activating." Xu Jingming's eyes widen in disbelief as he tries to process the event. The system's activation completes, and a new message asks if he wishes to claim the newbie gift package. Still on the floor, he realizes this might be the legendary cheat system for transmigrators. 0.4. His shock turns to excitement, a wide grin spreading as he wonders about the gift package's contents. The system promptly reveals the contents: an S-rank super ability and 200 ability points. Xu Jingming is momentarily speechless. An S-rank ability is exceptionally rare. In a major nation like Xia, someone with such an ability is immediately recruited by elite universities and groomed into a powerhouse. Xu Jingming is astounded by his incredible luck. The revelation fills him with hope. He realizes that, despite being born as E-rank trash, this system offers a chance to rewrite his fate. With a determined grin, he extends his hand, crackling with his old weak electricity, and says, "Claim," accepting the gift without hesitation. Instantly, 3 system windows appear. The newbie gift package is claimed, 200 ability points are credited, and the system begins distributing his new S-rank ability, Purple Cloud Thunder God's Lightning. The power surges into his heart, causing excruciating pain. Immense energy erupts within him as violent purple lightning courses through his body, shredding his shirt. A progress bar appears, slowly climbing as the energy explodes outward, shattering the room's interior. The blast is so intense it blows out the apartment window. The commotion draws attention on the street below. A woman points at the strange energy, and her child asks, "What's happening?" A young man frantically calls someone, urging them to alert the fire department about the Xu family's child. Inside, Xu Jingming writhes in agony as the integration surpasses 50%. Outside, people gaze upward as the sky darkens ominously. Above the apartment, a massive dragon of crackling blue lightning forms. The phenomenon attracts powerful figures. A man in a high-rise wonders if a mighty beast is invading. Elsewhere, a military commander orders Zhang Cheng's 3rd Legion to high alert. Back at the apartment, the lightning dragon swirls in the sky before plunging downward, channeling its immense energy into Xu Jingming's body. He lets out a final scream as the system's progress bar hits 100%. The light and pain subside, replaced by a simple message: ability transformation complete. The overwhelming energy fades, leaving Xu Jingming in his wrecked training room. He slowly clenches his fist, feeling the vast power he now wields. Potent blue and purple electricity sparks around his hand. A confident grin spreads across his face. He recognizes this S-rank ability is on an entirely different level. His old ability was like an electric baton, but this new power feels capable of obliterating a person with one strike. His excitement dims slightly as he surveys the destruction, shattered windows, and cracked walls. He thinks the commotion was a bit excessive, but feels relieved he managed to control some of the energy. He then recalls the other part of his reward, 200 ability points. Curious, he asks aloud what they're for as he touches the system interface. The system explains that ability points are earned by slaying fierce beasts and can be used to enhance his levels and skills. A mischievous grin returns. He expresses delight at the straightforward cheat system and instructs it to open the system panel. A detailed status screen appears, showing his new profile, his name, his status as an unranked awakened, his new S-rank ability, Purple Heaven Divine Thunder, and his 200 available ability points. With the unified exam just 1 day away, Xu Jingming's eyes gleam with determination. He knows he must allocate his 200 points strategically to boost his combat strength. Sparks of lightning dance around his hand as he instructs the system to distribute the points for him. Xu Jingming opts for a logical approach, reasoning that all abilities stem from the body and spirit. He prioritizes enhancing these core attributes first. As the system processes his request, his physique and spirit stats surge rapidly. A burst of deep purple energy erupts, swirling around him. He appears slightly dazed, marveling at the sensation of his vital energy and mental clarity intensifying. Clenching his fist, he senses the newfound strength coursing through him. He throws a practice punch, and a whirlwind of blue and purple lightning bursts from his fist, a display of power far surpassing his previous capabilities. Staring at his hand, wreathed in crackling energy, he realizes that by boosting his fundamental attributes, his mastery over his combat skills and powers has also improved. The system panel confirms the upgrade, displaying his physique at 141 and spirit at 160. It clarifies that each ability point equates to 0.2 units of vital energy or spirit energy. A confident smile spreads across his face. He believes that with his current strength, securing a spot at an Awakener university will be straightforward. Still, he wonders how he measures up against the other 700 candidates in the province, particularly the prodigies trained since childhood. Determined to find out, he kicks his spear up from the debris on the floor. Catching it and slinging it over his shoulder, he resolves to head to the martial arts hall to gauge his new power levels. As he prepares to leave, his apartment door is suddenly forced open. 3 firefighters rush in, prepared to tackle a blaze, leaving Xu Jingming stunned. The lead firefighter, puzzled by the absence of flames, explains they received a report of a fire at this address. Standing amid the wrecked room, Xu Jingming calmly clarifies that the disturbance was due to his ability training and that everything is under control. The lead firefighter accepts the explanation, aware that incidents involving awakened individuals are not uncommon. He radios his team to stand down. As he departs, he glances back at Xu Jingming with respect, thinking how impressive the younger generation is to cause such a stir just by practicing. Soon after, the fire truck pulls away. Now dressed in his school uniform and carrying his spear, Xu Jingming walks down the street. A neighbor, whom he calls Uncle Yang, asks if he's okay after the reported fire. Xu Jingming reassures him that everything is fine. Noticing the spear, the neighbor commends his dedication, practicing even with the exam looming. The narrative explains that martial arts halls are vital in this world. To progress, an awakened individual must train their physique and spirit. These halls provide essential training grounds, as not every family can afford a private training space. The 2 most renowned martial arts hall chains are Thunder and Brutal Bear. Xu Jingming arrives at the Thunder Martial Arts Hall. The narration notes that the Brutal Bear Hall is costly, primarily catering to students from wealthy families. The Thunder Hall, however, is free for all high school students, making it highly popular. Inside the bustling hall, Xu Jingming spots a familiar face among a group of students. The girl with long black hair and red eyes is Tangi, his cousin. He approaches her and asks why she's at the Thunder Hall. Surprised to see him, Tangi explains she's just visiting with a friend. Xu Jingming politely excuses himself, telling Tangi and her friends to enjoy their visit while he heads to a training room. As he walks away, Tangi observes him, sensing something different about him. Her lively friend Xiaoya is instantly smitten by Xu Jingming's appearance, calling him handsome and asking Tangi who he is. Tangi reveals he's her cousin, Xu Jingming, a third-year student taking the martial arts exam tomorrow. Xiaoya gushes, saying he'd make a perfect boyfriend. A male friend teases her for falling in love, and she enthusiastically agrees. Hearing this, Tangi decides to ground her friend in reality. She reveals that Xu Jingming's awakened ability is only E rank. The news crushes Xiaoya's fantasy, and she exclaims, "What a shame." The male friend smirks, noting that it's admirable for someone with an E rank ability to attempt the martial arts exam. Tangi, however, looks concerned, saying, "Courage means little when the stakes are so high." Shifting the topic, Tangi reminds the group they're there to explore the hall. Xiaoya agrees, mentioning she spent her high school years at the pricey Brutal Bear Hall and suggests relaxing before the big exam is wise. Meanwhile, Xu Jingming finds an empty training room. He stands before a large circular target, gripping his spear. He notices it feels much lighter. He realizes the spear hasn't changed, his body has grown significantly stronger. He considers that this old weapon might no longer suit him, but with the exam tomorrow, there's no time to replace it. He decides to first test his peak physical strength without using his lightning ability. Taking a deep breath, he tightens his grip and thrusts the spear forward. The weapon slams into the target's center with tremendous force, leaving a web of cracks in the advanced training target. A digital display above, flashes the number 321. The room's equipment, made from special memory metal, begins to repair itself automatically. Xu Jingming is astounded. His pure physical strength has doubled, and he knows the strongest output for a typical unranked awakened is around 100 calories, making his base strength remarkable. Satisfied, he decides to test his new S-rank ability. His eyes glow blue as he prepares to channel the purple heaven's divine thunder. Arcs of purple and blue lightning spark around his body. With a powerful leap, he brings his spear down on the target, unleashing a massive explosion of electrical energy. He checks the new reading, an astonishing 321 calories. Xu Jingming is elated by the potency of his S-rank ability. The standard for a first-tier awakened is only 0 calories. So for him, still unranked, to produce an attack comparable to a mid-tier, first-tier, awakened, demonstrates his newfound potential. But he isn't finished. With lightning still crackling around him, he declares this isn't his limit. He decides to unleash his ultimate technique, combining his enhanced strength, ability, and combat skills into a single strike. Channeling all his energy into the spear, it becomes enveloped in intense purple lightning. He swings the spear in a wide arc. As the spearhead nears the target, the lightning condenses into a single brilliant sphere of power. With a fierce shout of "Break!" he unleashes the attack. The spear connects, triggering a massive explosion of purple energy that completely engulfs the target. The force sends a shockwave through the entire martial arts hall. In the main stadium, students are rattled, one crying out, wondering if it was an earthquake. On the training room floor, Tangi, Xiaoya, and their friends are knocked off balance. The male friend recognizes the powerful energy fluctuations, noting they're on the level of a true awakener. They speculate if a new awakener-level high school student has emerged, as all the known ones train at the other hall. Driven by curiosity, Tangi suggests they investigate. The group follows the energy trail down the corridor. As they turn a corner, they encounter Xu Jingming, who is leaving the area with his spearhead now wrapped in cloth. Tangi calls out to him, surprised to see him there. Xu Jingming calmly says he's heading home to prepare for the exam, giving no indication of the power he just unleashed. His friend wishes him luck but dismissively tells the group to forget him, pointing to the training room Xu Jingming just left, saying the energy originated there. The group approaches the door and peeks inside. They see a scene of utter devastation. The advanced memory metal target is completely destroyed, and the reinforced wall behind it is a massive crater of rubble. The entire room is in ruins. Tangi, Xiaoya, and the others stare in stunned silence, unable to fathom the level of destructive power unleashed in a high school training room. Gazing at the wreckage, Xiaoya exclaims that even the sophisticated memory metal was shattered, implying an extraordinarily powerful strike. She muses whether any high schooler in their city, Jiang Chang'an, could possess such strength. Her brown-haired companion scoffs at the notion, brushing his fingers along the crater's rim. He remarks that the lingering energy seems too fierce for a mere high school student. He speculates it was likely a second-order ability user who accidentally wandered onto the student-level floor. Another friend concurs, noting that even a prodigy from the provincial capital couldn't cause such devastation, making it unthinkable for someone in their modest city. However, Xiaoya proposes an alternative idea. She points out that the only person they spotted nearby was Xu Jingming, and eagerly suggests he could be a concealed prodigy. Her friends mock the notion, one teasing if she's been diving into too many fantasy books. Another remarks that Xu Jingming is a known E-class user, barely capable of mustering an attack strength of 300. Her companion offers a more plausible theory, suggesting the powerful user simply exited via the other hallway. He then turns to Tangi, who's been quiet, and asks her thoughts. Tangi merely replies, "Perhaps." Stepping closer to examine the damage, Tangi runs her hand along the broken wall, observing that the impact marks resemble those of a long spear. The image of her cousin wielding his spear flickers in her mind. A growing suspicion takes root, and she silently questions whether Xu Jingming's decision to take the martial arts exam reflects overconfidence, The following day dawns bright and clear, marking the martial arts exam. Scores of buses arrive at a vast fortified arena, unloading students armed with diverse weapons. Among them is Xu Jingming, striding calmly and confidently, his spear resting on his shoulder. The students cluster near a towering fence, peering into the exam grounds with a blend of awe and fear. One student nervously grumbles, recalling that previous exams featured far weaker creatures. The general agreement is that this year's test will be exceptionally tough. As the students voice their anxieties, a haughty voice pierces the crowd. A long-haired youth with a massive sword mocks their timidity, proclaiming that anyone unable to handle a unicorn rhinoceros is worthless, leaving the others stunned into silence. Nearby, Xu Jingming's close friend, Lu Ji, asks who the boastful figure is. Xu Jingming identifies him as Zhou Mingyang. Lu Ji explains that Zhou Mingyang is a renowned genius with a B-class ability, already elevated to a first-order ability user, a rare achievement for a high schooler. Xu Jingming eyes the prodigy with a self-assured smile and a competitive spark, quietly pondering who's stronger. Abruptly, a commanding voice demands the candidate's attention. A stern man with a scar, clad in a military-style uniform, introduces himself as Wang Haiyang, the exam's chief overseer. He announces that he'll outline critical precautions before the exam begins. Standing atop a military vehicle, Commander Wang Haiyang declares the exam will span 12 hours, from 9:00 a.m. to 9:00 p.m. He gestures toward the sprawling, ruined town serving as the exam site, explaining it's split into 4 zones: outer, central, inner, and core. Points are earned by slaying beasts, with scores rising based on the beast's rank and power. His expression grows serious as he delivers a final caution, stating the core area is a bonus challenge meant only for elite students. He urges all to act within their limits and avoid recklessly risking their lives for a higher score. Listening to the commander, Xu Jingming reflects on his own capabilities. Before his recent power boost, he'd have been confined to the outer zone. Now, brimming with strength and ambition, he's resolved to venture deep into the inner zone and perhaps even tackle the core area. An announcement calls students to collect their exam supplies. Xu Jingming and his friend approach their teacher, Chen Fan, who distributes tactical backpacks. Xu Jingming receives his, containing a smartwatch for tracking points, a backpack with energy bars, a drink, a medical kit, and a safety ball that can generate a high-voltage grid to repel beasts. As Chen Fan hands over the supplies, he offers a final piece of advice, reminding Xu Jingming that his life outweighs any score, even if using the safety ball ends the exam early. Xu Jingming respectfully thanks his teacher. Just then, a familiar voice calls his name. He turns to see his classmate Ling Qing hurrying toward him. She warmly offers him a spot on her team. With her is their class president, Lu Qin, a C-class user who vows to protect Xu Jingming during the exam. However, another student objects, arguing that the exam is a serious competition and taking an E-rank student like Xu Jingming would jeopardize their chances for a high score. Another teammate heatedly agrees, accusing Lu Qin of altering their strategy. The 2 dissenters make it clear they don't want to carry a liability. The insults enrage Xu Jingming's friend, Lu Ji, but Xu Jingming calmly restrains him. With a courteous smile, he declines the offer, thanking Lu Qin and Ling Qing for their kindness, but stating he plans to go solo. A worried Ling Qing reluctantly accepts, urging him to stay safe. The student who complains smirks and suggests they seek out the formidable Huang Tian to team up with instead, letting out a derisive laugh as they depart. Xu Jingming watches them leave with a confident smirk, thinking he's more than capable of earning a high score alone. An announcement signals the exam's official start. A swarm of drones takes to the sky, ready to broadcast the event live. The massive gates swing open, and a surge of students rushes into the ruined city, shouting their ambitions. Among them are Tangi and her friends, a resolute girl with a large sword, and the top contender, Zhou Mingyang, who uses his wind ability to spring ahead of the group. In contrast, Xu Jingming remains composed. He takes a single step, then settles into a steady run, spear in hand, thinking the exam has finally begun, and he's prepared. As he runs, he taps his smartwatch, and a holographic display confirms his identity and shows the real-time rankings. The top 3 spots are already claimed, with Xu Jingming leading at 7 points, followed by 2 others. Xu Jingming glances at the leaderboard with a self-assured smirk, noting that Xu Jingming has already begun slaying beasts. The early lead only stokes his competitive fire. While others battle in the outer zones, Xu Jingming opts for a daring plan, resolving to head straight for the high-risk, high-reward core area. As he ventures deeper into the ruined city, he suddenly halts. Ahead lies a horrific sight, the lifeless body of a student in a pool of blood, an unused green safety ball beside them, indicating the attack's speed. The scene unsettles Xu Jingming, who realizes the student had no chance to activate their final defense. The exam's harsh reality sinks in, reinforcing his teachers and the commander's warnings. He reflects that without his S-class ability gained yesterday, he could have met the same fate. Steeling himself, he accepts the exam's brutal nature. Kneeling beside the fallen student, he uses the boy's smartwatch to summon retrieval for the body, pondering that opportunities always carry risks. Suddenly, a noise catches his attention. From the shadows of a ruined building, a large clawed paw emerges silently. Moments later, a ferocious shadow cat with glowing purple eyes steps forward. Xu Jingming instantly grasps the grim truth. The beasts used the dead student as bait. It's a trap. The shadow cat hurls itself at him. Despite the fearsome charge of the dark feline, Xu Jingming stays utterly composed. The creature snarls fiercely as it leaps with astonishing speed, its shadowy talons outstretched. Yet Xu Jingming moves swifter still. With a smooth, almost effortless motion, he dodges the assault, allowing the beast to soar past him. The shadow cat lands with elegance, its vivid purple eyes fixed on its target. Its reputation as a deadly predator is well deserved. With a lithe frame, razor-sharp claws, and a bite force exceeding 1,000 kilograms, it's a true menace to novices. It emits a savage roar, aiming to unnerve Xu Jingming. As he confronts the creature, he reflects on what makes these beasts so perilous. He's aware that fierce beasts possess a unique, intimidating aura that can freeze their prey in terror. He recalls hearing that most awakened individuals, when facing a fierce beast for the first time, succumb to this overwhelming pressure, unable to muster even a third of their strength as they await their demise. He muses on how affluent families employ guards to escort their young into the wilds, acclimating them to this aura early on, a luxury he never enjoyed. Recognizing this as his first real clash with a fierce beast, he grips his spear as the shadow cat springs at him again. The creature closes the gap in an instant, jaws wide. Yet Xu Jingming holds his position, entirely unshaken. Streaks of violet lightning spark along his spear as he channels his energy. In one rapid motion, he drives the spear forward, its electrified tip piercing the shadow cat's skull, killing it instantly. He gazes at the fallen creature with a contemplative look, realizing its fearsome aura had no hold over him. Moments later, a blue holographic display emerges from his smartwatch, verifying the kill. Eliminated one unranked fierce beast, Shadow Cat. Ability points +3. A note clarifies that fierce beasts are ranked from 1 to 9, with those below rank 1 deemed unranked, akin to unranked human awakened. Xu Jingming glances at the venue map on his watch. He notes that slaying beasts earns ability points but seems underwhelmed by the meager reward, thinking unranked beasts yield far too few points. Realizing he's immune to their intimidating aura, he decides lingering in the outer zone is pointless. He resolves to head to the more perilous central area swiftly. He begins his trek deeper into the exam venue, carving a bloody trail through unranked beasts, dispatching shadow cats, iron-furred boars, and wolf-like creatures with ease, earning 3 to 5 ability points per kill. However, he spots a flaw in his method. While he's accumulating points, he's gaining little real combat experience. His new S-rank ability is so overwhelmingly potent that it obliterates unranked beasts instantly, leaving no room to refine his combat skills. He also considers the high energy toll of his new power. Unlike his former E-rank ability, which he could sustain for hours, his S-rank power can't be maintained at full strength for even an hour. With the exam spanning 12 hours, he knows he must conserve energy before reaching the core zone. He adopts a new approach. He'll slay fierce beasts, using only his spear techniques to build experience and preserve power. Just as he commits to this plan, a new, far larger threat emerges: a massive bipedal unicorn rhinoceros. The colossal beast bellows and charges, flinging a wrecked vehicle aside with its immense power. Instead of retreating, Xu Jingming stands firm, meeting the charge head-on. The force of the rhino's horn sends him hurtling backward. With remarkable agility, he uses the momentum to flip mid-air, positioning himself above the beast. Before it can react, he plummets, landing on its back and driving his spear deep into its skull with one precise thrust. The enormous creature collapses, defeated. Breathing lightly, Xu Jingming is surprised by how swiftly he dispatched it, noting that even a formidable beast like the rhinoceros posed little challenge. A thought crosses his mind. Has his spear technique advanced to a higher level without him noticing? He summons his system panel, which confirms his suspicion. His spear technique has reached the intermediate stage, and his ability points have climbed to 256. He concludes that relying on his spear skills is the most effective way to enhance his strength. Feeling the fluidity of his intermediate technique, he wonders what further improvement might bring. Using his amassed points, he upgrades his spear skill once more. The effect is immediate. A flood of advanced spear techniques and intricate movements surges into his mind, embedding into his muscle memory. Clutching his head, he's astounded by the sheer volume of skill he's acquired. Brimming with new techniques, Xu Jingming feels a rush of confidence. Grasping his spear, he stands tall amid the ruins, a predatory grin on his face. He declares he's eager to find a rank 1 fierce beast to test his enhanced skills. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the outer zone, Linking and her team navigate the streets. Suddenly, Linking halts, puzzled. She thinks she glimpsed a familiar figure in the distance. She voices her suspicion, saying she believes she saw Xu Jingming. A teammate dismisses it, questioning if she's imagining things, arguing it couldn't be Xu Jingming since it'd be suicidal for someone with his E-rank strength to venture so deep into the exam zone. Linking, filled with uncertainty, can't shake the feeling it was her classmate. She starts to worry about him. Her thoughts are cut short when a teammate calls them over. The group hurries to find him standing before the massive, freshly slain corpse of the unicorn rhinoceros. They notice the blood on its wounds is still wet, indicating it was killed mere minutes ago. Examining the fatal wound, a clean, penetrating strike to the head made by a long-handled weapon, one teammate exclaims it's a spear wound. The clues align in Ling Qing's mind: the spear wound, the timing, the silhouette. She wonders aloud if it truly was Xu Jingming. The skeptical teammate scoffs, arguing a unicorn rhinoceros is a beast only a C-rank awakened could defeat alone. To settle the debate, another teammate suggests checking the score rankings. Without hesitation, Ling Qing activates the leaderboard on her smartwatch. As the rankings appear, her eyes widen in disbelief. There, in 46th place with 256 points, is Xu Jingming, Zhong Second High School. She exclaims it's really him. Her teammates are stunned, their faces reflecting sheer disbelief. They refuse to believe the E-rank student they belittled is in the top 50, suggesting it must be someone with the same name. They're left questioning everything, unable to grasp the reality. Meanwhile, far from the battlefield, officials and VIPs observe the exam on large screens. One spectator remarks on the expected dominance of First High School, which holds the top 10 ranks. They highlight Zhou Mingyang, ranked first with 412 points, seemingly assured of being Zhang Cheng's top student. Another official wonders if he could become a provincial top 100 student, a feat no one from their city has achieved in years. Among them is Zhang Wenshan, director of the Jiang Education Bureau. With a smug smile, he agrees Zhou Mingyang is their city's ace, and expresses confidence he'll break into the provincial top 100. He then addresses the principals of first and third high schools, commending their institutions. 5. The principals humbly thank him. While praising the top schools, Director Zhang Wen turns to second high school's principal, Xiao Yao, condescendingly urging his school to try harder, noting their top student is only 18th. Principal Xiao Yao sweats nervously, bowing and stammering agreement. Inwardly, he's furious, knowing only 8 of the top 50 students are from his school. He mentally lists his top students, including Xu Jingming, urging them to step up. Then he pauses. Xu Jingming's name is unfamiliar. He asks aloud who this student is, wondering why he's never heard of him. Turning to the teacher beside him, Chen Fan, he inquires about Xu Jingming. Upon learning his supposedly weakest student is in the top 50, Chen Fan's jaw drops in shock. He takes a moment to steady himself, wiping sweat from his brow. He recalls Xu Jingming as an E-rank awakened, and wonders if the boy hid his true strength, but dismisses the idea as impossible. Frustrated, he glances at the monitors, realizing that since only the top 10 students have dedicated camera feeds, he can't see how Xu Jingming is amassing so many points. Back in the exam venue, Xu Jingming has pushed through the outer zone and reached the central area, a far more dangerous region. He walks calmly through the streets, crushing a bottle underfoot. Pausing to eat an energy bar, he notes the reduced number of fierce beasts. He knows ranked beasts have developed intelligence and territorial instincts, making them tougher foes. Suddenly, his keen senses detect something. His eyes narrow as he announces his target has appeared. An instant later, a powerful striped beast bursts through a pile of wrecked cars. A rank 1 fierce beast, an arm-blade tiger, named for the sharp, blade-like bones on its forelimbs. Xu Jingming stands unwavering, remarking on his good fortune for encountering a rank 1 beast so soon. With a confident, eager expression, he readies his spear, declaring this formidable opponent the perfect test for his newly enhanced spear technique. The arm-blade tiger roars fiercely and charges, its deadly claws poised to strike. Xu Jingming remains calm, gripping his spear defensively. With a graceful twirl, he deflects the tiger's initial lunge, skillfully parrying its attack with the spear's shaft. The impact of the strike forces the tiger to stagger back slightly. Xu Jingming, however, appears utterly unfazed. With a smug grin, he taunts the beast, questioning if this is the extent of a first-tier creature's strength, suggesting that only a Tiger King could push him to exert more effort. His mockery infuriates the beast, which roars as if vowing to end him. Xu Jingming shifts to the offensive, lunging forward with astonishing speed, his spear a mere blur as he delivers a precise, deep thrust into the tiger's shoulder, blood spurting from the wound. The creature bellows in agony and rage, but Xu Jingming allows it no chance to regroup. He maintains a composed, steady posture, though his attack only fuels the first-rank beast's fury. Its eyes glow with a menacing teal hue, and it rears up on its hind legs, looming over Xu Jingming, unleashing a thunderous roar as it readies its full might. The arm-blade tiger swings its massive bladed paws in a crushing arc. With lightning-fast reflexes, Xu Jingming evades the blow, using the momentum to spin around a nearby lamppost, dodging the lethal claws and positioning himself for a fierce counterstrike. Landing nimbly after his acrobatic maneuver, Xu Jingming acknowledges the resilience of the first-tier beast. Despite its wounds, the arm-blade tiger remains determined to fight desperately. Deciding to conclude the battle, he declares further resistance futile. He channels his spear technique, Lightning Gale Break, as a whirlwind of blue energy swirls around his weapon. With a mighty battle cry, he unleashes the move, his body blurring into motion as he performs a devastating spinning attack. The spear's energy forms multiple slashing arcs of light, striking the tiger, which emits a final tortured scream as the technique rips through its form. The massive beast crumples to the ground, defeated. A notification pings on Xu Jingming's smartwatch, confirming the kill of a first-tier armored tiger and granting him 14 ability points. He notes with satisfaction that these points are nearly double those from an unranked beast. A realization dawns. While the exam hall is perilous for others, for him, it's an ideal hunting ground to gain strength. With renewed resolve, he vows to amass as many ability points as possible by targeting the mightiest beasts. In the spectator stands, tension hangs thick as officials and instructors monitor the live rankings. The leaderboard reveals Xu Jingming tied for 31st place, with 328 points. An official turns to teacher Chen Fan, inquiring if this remarkable student hails from his class. Suddenly, Chen Fan is in the spotlight, with other teachers lauding him, amazed that only his students have cracked the top 50 from their school. They praise his teaching methods, but a flustered Chen Fan modestly deflects, insisting the credit belongs to the student's own efforts. The discussion halts when someone shouts, pointing at the screen, Xu Jingming's rank has surged to 25th place. An official exclaims in disbelief that he gained 44 points in one go. Director Zhang Wenshan mentally tallies the points, recalling that a peak unranked beast yields 6 to 8 points, while a low-grade first-tier beast offers 14 to 16. Principal Xiao Yao, visibly stunned, continues the thought, realizing the kill count updates every 4 seconds. A staggering conclusion forms. Director Zhang Wenshan finishes the calculation. In just 4 seconds, Xu Jingming must have defeated either 5 peak unranked beasts or 3 low-grade first-tier ones. A satisfied smile spreads across his face as he notes such a feat hasn't been seen in years. Turning to Principal Xiao Yao, he remarks that this student is a promising talent and questions why he's never heard of him. Still rattled, the principal admits he only recently learned of Xu Jingming himself and suggests they consult his homeroom teacher. He promptly summons a nervous Chen Fan, asking him to clarify Xu Jingming's situation, particularly his talent, to the officials. Standing before the city's top education leaders, a sweating Chen Fan stammers out the shocking truth. Xu Jingming awakened an E-grade ability, weak electricity. The principal, incredulous, asks if Chen Fan is certain. Chen Fan confirms, adding that he had advised Xu Jingming against participating in the exam due to his low-rank ability. Director Zhang Wenshan listens with growing intrigue, deducing that for someone with an E-grade ability to achieve this, he must possess extraordinary qualities. This mystery piques his interest. He decides to wait, confidently predicting that with Xu Jingming's momentum, he'll soon break into the top 10, earning a dedicated camera feed to reveal his methods. He warns, however, that if the student is cheating, there will be repercussions. Just then, Chen Fan and Principal Xiao Yao gasp as the leaderboard updates. Xu Jingming has achieved the impossible, climbing to 9th place. Just below him, at 12th, is his cousin, Tang Qi. Elsewhere in the exam hall, Tang Qi, now sporting cat-like ears and a tail, sits atop a defeated beast, gazing into the distance with a knowing smile, certain her cousin caused the destruction at the martial arts hall. The top-ranked student, Zhou Ming, also notices the new name on the leaderboard, surprised that with 6 hours remaining, an unknown has broken into the top 10. He muses that he's never heard of Xu Jingming. As a top 10 contender, Xu Jingming gains a dedicated camera drone. The feed captures him effortlessly slaying another first-tier beast with his spear. As the creature falls, a notification awards him another 14 points. He remarks to himself that the central area offers far greater efficiency for beast kills. Noticing the drone, he realizes he's reached the top 10. Standing over his latest kill, Xu Jingming reflects on the exam's nature, a test of strength and potential, where better results yield greater recognition. With this in mind, he resolves to stop concealing his true power, declaring that reaching the top 10 is merely a starting point. Before tackling the core area, he decides to further enhance his strength. Checking his system panel, he sees his spear technique has reached the advanced level, with 312 ability points accumulated. Disappointed that his rank hasn't automatically advanced from awakened, he deduces that becoming a true ability user requires a specific cultivation method, unobtainable during the exam. Unable to increase his rank, he opts to boost his basic attributes, spending points to enhance his physique by 40 and his spirit by 22. Feeling a rush of newfound strength, he clenches his fist, ready to enter the core area. Upon arriving at the core area's entrance, where danger peaks, Xu Jingming encounters a gruesome sight, a pack of 9 armored tigers feasting on a large, rhino-like beast's corpse. From a safe distance, he studies the pack, quickly spotting the larger, more imposing tiger in the center, the armored Tiger King. Far from intimidated, he views this as a prime opportunity to harvest points. As he prepares to act, he senses another presence and calls out, demanding they reveal themselves. From behind a corner, Zhou Ming steps forward, visibly impressed. He compliments Xu Jingming's keen perception, admitting he didn't expect the mysterious top 10 contender to be him. Xu Jingming recognizes the top-ranked student and asks how Zhou Ming knew his identity. Zhou Ming explains that he's familiar with all strong candidates capable of reaching the core area, and since Xu Jingming was an unknown who rose rapidly, he deduced his identity. Zhou Ming reveals he's been observing the tiger pack and draws his sword. Instantly wary, Xu Jingming asks if he plans to steal his kill. Zhou Ming clarifies that he has no such intention, explaining that the armored Tiger King, a mid-grade first-tier beast, and its pack of 9, make an opponent too formidable for one person. He suggests they team up to defeat the pack. Xu Jingming, however, dismisses the offer with 2 curt words, "No need." With unshakable confidence, he declares he's more than capable alone. Stepping boldly into the open, Xu Jingming draws the pack's attention. The tigers emit low, warning growls, and the Tiger King, perched atop its kill, roars to assert dominance. Xu Jingming's eyes narrow as he assesses his foes, noting that, as expected of a pack led by a beast king, the tigers exhibit enough intelligence for a basic battle formation, with stronger ones in front. The pack growls menacingly, readying a unified attack. One tiger breaks ranks, charging with a roar as it leaps toward him. From his hiding spot, Zhou Ming watches with a mix of skepticism and curiosity, wondering if Xu Jingming is marching to his doom or possesses some extraordinary skill to match his confidence. Facing the charging beast, Xu Jingming stands perfectly still, exuding calm as he readies his spear. In a flash, he spins the weapon at blinding speed, the shaft blurring into an almost invisible circle as he gathers energy. He unleashes a massive, sweeping strike, sending a colossal arc of force ripping through the air toward the attacking beasts. The blow lands with devastating power, his spinning spear slicing through several tigers in one brutal motion, blood spraying across the street. System notifications flood in, confirming kills and awarding ability points. The lifeless bodies of the tigers collapse onto the blood-drenched pavement, the initial wave of the pack obliterated by his single strike. The armored Tiger King, enraged by the slaughter, glares at Xu Jingming, who gazes at the carnage with mild dissatisfaction, remarking that his physical strength is still lacking, as he couldn't eliminate the entire pack in one blow. The surviving tigers, guided by their furious king, encircle him, poised to retaliate for their fallen comrades. The Tiger King emits a thunderous roar, a potent sonic assault designed to disorient its adversary. The roar's intensity is so great that it shatters windows in nearby structures, sending shards of glass cascading down. Even Zhou Ming, observing from a secure vantage point, feels the sonic wave's impact, gripping his head in agony. Yet Xu Jingming stands resolute amid the falling glass. Utterly unshaken, he perceives the Tiger King's effort to unnerve him. With a bold stare, he proclaims that while the creature might terrify others, it holds no fear for him. As the remaining tigers pounce from all directions, Xu Jingming counters their assault with seamless elegance and lethal accuracy. He deflects one tiger's strike, then uses its body as a platform to propel himself skyward, evading the snapping jaws of another. The Tiger King, spotting an opportunity, charges forward, but Xu Jingming is prepared. Still airborne, he aligns himself for a critical blow. With a mighty downward thrust, he drives his spear into the Tiger King's skull. The tremendous force splits the beast's head, killing it instantly. He lands gracefully as a system alert confirms the defeat of an upper-rank first-order arm-blade tiger, granting him a substantial 20 ability points. From his concealed position, Xu Jingming is utterly astonished, sweating and wide-eyed, unable to fathom what he just saw. He mutters to himself that it's impossible for one person to have defeated the entire pack, questioning what kind of force Xu Jingming truly is. Meanwhile, Xu Jingming is elated. He revels in the massive haul of ability points gained from the Tiger Pack. He eagerly wonders how many more points he can amass before the 12-hour exam concludes. Knowing that more points equate to greater strength, he resolves to hasten and locate the next group of beasts to hunt. Before he can depart, Xu Jingming emerges from his hiding spot, demanding to know how Xu Jingming vanquished the tigers with only a long spear. He inquires if his ability is a reinforcement type, which could account for his extraordinary physical feats. Without pausing, Xu Jingming leaps away, shouting back that he is a lightning type. Xu Jingming is left seething, skeptical of the response. He clenches his fist in irritation, believing Xu Jingming is brushing him off. Moments later, he realizes that with so many fresh kills, Xu Jing's score is likely overtaking his own. He hurriedly checks the leaderboard on his smartwatch. To his horror, he sees that Xu Jingming has not only caught up, but has surged ahead. The leaderboard now displays Xu Jingming in first place, with 1,122 points, while Xu Jingming has dropped to second with 985. The realization leaves him shouting in frustration. In the audience stands, the officials are buzzing with excitement. Director Zhang Wen rises and declares that Xu Jing's exceptional spearmanship proves he is a true prodigy. He slaps a beaming Principal Xiao Yao on the shoulder, proclaiming that with Xu Jingming representing them, Zhangcheng is certain to rank in the provincial top 100. He pledges accommodations for the second high school post-exam, much to the principal's tearful joy. Principal Xiao Yao is overwhelmed, reflecting on what an unexpected boon Xu Jingming has been, finally giving his school its moment to shine. 3 hours later, in the core zone, Xu Mingyang wanders the streets, looking utterly perplexed. He voices aloud his confusion about where all the fierce beasts have vanished. A voice behind him suggests he'll need to ask the top-ranked student. He turns to see his cousin Tangi, accompanied by other high-ranking students Wu Ha and Meng Di. Tangi gestures to the deserted streets, explaining that Xu Jingming has already eliminated all the beasts. She notes that unable to find any beasts to fight, they were forced to team up. Xu Mingyang is stunned, finding it hard to believe one person could have cleared the entire core zone. Tangi remarks that she can tell he hasn't been a ranked ability user for long. To emphasize her point, she urges him to check her cousin's current score. She activates her smartwatch, and the leaderboard appears. Xu Mingyang's eyes widen in disbelief at the staggering number next to Xu Jingming's name, 3,435 points, over triple his own score. He can only stutter in shock. Tangi calmly breaks down the numbers. Subtracting the roughly 700 points Xu Jingming earned in the central zone, he still gained over 2,500 points, meaning he likely single-handedly defeated nearly 200 fierce beasts in the core zone alone. A bead of sweat trickles down Xu Mingyang's face as he grasps the truth. It wasn't that Xu Jingming feared someone stealing his kills. He had planned to dominate the entire core zone from the start. Wu Ha explains their predicament. With only a few hours remaining, the top students have formed a team. Their strategy is to venture into the innermost core zone, a place they know is teeming with upper-rank beasts, and even a second-order beast king. He admits that going in alone would be suicidal. Meng Di then formally invites Xu Mingyang to join their team. With no alternative, he agrees, exclaiming, "I'm in!" The scene shifts to a tranquil moonlit rooftop. Xu Jingming sits alone atop a massive pile of slain beast carcasses, his spear planted beside him. His supplies are entirely depleted, and he knows the exam is nearing its end. Yet his quest for power persists. He decides he must venture deeper to gain more ability points. Aware that the innermost core zone harbors second-order fierce beasts, he resolves to bolster his strength one final time. He accesses his system panel, revealing he has amassed an astonishing 2,413 ability points. With a sly grin, he opts to invest his points in an upgrade. After channeling the newfound power, he stands over the corpse of a massive bear-like creature, exhaling in relief. He feels confident that with this final enhancement, he can handle this year's combat exam finale. As the other top students race toward the final area, their last sprint begins. Deep within the innermost zone, a fearsome new beast emerges from the ruins, a colossal, white-furred, wolf-like creature with glowing red eyes and menacing red crystals on its back. As the final challenge appears, Xu Jingming arrives, composed and prepared. He grips his spear, a confident expression on his face, as he wonders what kind of second-order fierce beast the exam has in store for him this year. Just as Xu Jingming arrives for the final challenge, the team of top-ranked students also reaches the innermost core zone. They quickly identify the massive crystal-backed creature as a bloodthirsty savage bear. The beast demonstrates its immense power by smashing a wrecked car with a single swipe of its paw. The sight fills the team with dread. Zhou Mingyang exclaims that they're in serious trouble. Meng Di explains that this rare beast has a hide as tough as E-grade alloy, impervious even to missiles. She adds, trembling, that a single strike from its paw could kill them all instantly. Seeing the daunting odds, Tangy suggests they abandon the mission. Their situation is even graver than anticipated. They realize the compound is guarded not only by the Beast King, but also by a large pack of high-rank first-level beasts. One team member grimly notes that entering would likely result in them being overwhelmed by the horde before the savage bear even acts. Faced with the insurmountable challenge, a team member quits immediately, stating there's no point in earning a high score if it means death. Zhou Mingyang tries to stop him, angrily questioning the value of being impressive if he's just going to charge into a horde of beasts and die. The team's morale crumbles entirely. Suddenly, Meng Di points toward the compound, shouting for the others to look. They see a solitary figure entering the perilous area. Tangy's eyes widen as she recognizes him. It's Xu Jingming, fearlessly striding into the heart of the beast horde. As he gracefully leaps into the compound, the others watch in disbelief. Zhou Mingyang complains about the grueling test, while another student panics, crying out that Xu Jingming's entrance has provoked the entire horde, which now turns its focus on him. Infuriated by the intrusion, the entire horde of fierce beasts charges at him. Xu Jingming holds his ground in the middle of the street, and in an instant, he is completely engulfed by the snarling creatures. Watching from the rooftop, the other students are horrified. Tangy worries for her cousin, but Wuha remarks that he was too reckless. Tangy insists she must help him. Meng Di grabs her arm to stop her, and Wuha calls her insane, saying it's a futile death. Tangy desperately argues that Jingming is her cousin, and she can't just watch him perish. Before she can act, a massive explosion of purple and blue lightning erupts from the center of the beast horde. The sheer power creates a blinding flash, forcing the students on the roof to shield their eyes. Zhou Mingyang stares, wondering aloud if this is the lightning superpower Xu Jingming referenced earlier. The lightning fades, revealing a scene of total devastation. The entire horde of first-level beasts has been annihilated, their charred bodies scattered around a lone, unscathed figure. Xu Jingming stands amid the carnage, purple lightning crackling around him. He acknowledges that his physical strength alone wasn't sufficient, so he resorted to his superpower. A confident smile crosses his lips as he feels the immense power of his S-grade ability. Having cleared the lesser threats, he turns his focus to the final challenge, the bloodthirsty savage bear standing over the corpses of its minions. The massive beast unleashes a deafening roar. Xu Jingming remains composed, analyzing his opponent. He notes that the savage bear is enormous and likely not agile, concluding that with his potent thunder ability, it should be manageable. He then notices the beast is not alone, accompanied by several smaller but still dangerous minions. Recognizing these creatures could be a nuisance, he decides there's only one course of action. With a fierce look of determination, his eyes glowing, he declares he will clear the area first. He bursts into motion, his body enhanced by his S-grade lightning ability, moving with blinding speed as he tears through the remaining beasts. He effortlessly dispatches a high-rank Shadow Cat, his smartwatch confirming the kill and awarding 13 points. With a confident grin, he marvels at how his superpower enhances his physique, but acknowledges he can't sustain this dangerous state for long. Knowing it's enough to clear the minions, he cuts down the last of the lesser beasts with a powerful sweep of his spear, earning another 15 points for a high-rank unicorn rhino. With the area cleared, the final confrontation begins. The savage bear roars in fury, slamming its massive paws into the ground, creating a shockwave that shatters the pavement. The beast charges, shaking the earth. Xu Jingming, enveloped in his lightning aura, meets the charge head-on. With a powerful leap, he dodges the assault and swings his spear in a devastating arc, shattering one of the large red crystals on the beast's back. The battle continues in a blur, with Xu Jingming expertly evading the bear's attacks and landing precise strikes, breaking more crystals and wounding the beast. His smartwatch continuously updates with points as he dismantles the Beast King's defenses. The savage bear roars, enraged as it watches its minions fall. Xu Jingming, wreathed in lightning, taunts the beast, asking if it's getting angry. He promises to deal with it. After dispatching the last minion, a final rhino, the Bear King watches with cunning intelligence. Just as Xu Jingming is about to strike, the Bear King moves with surprising speed, smashing its own minion to pieces to intercept him. Xu Jingming is caught off guard, realizing the beast anticipated his move. The Bear King claps its paws together, sacrificing its last minion to create a devastating shockwave that obliterates the ground and nearby cars. The final rhino is torn apart in the explosion. However, the attack fails to harm its target. Xu Jingming, surrounded by his lightning aura, gracefully flips through the air, landing safely and unscathed. With the battlefield cleared of lesser threats, only the two kings remain. Xu Jingming grins fiercely, his body crackling with power. He declares that with no minions left, it's time to test whether the beast's armor-like hide can withstand the force of his thunder.